Well, hello all you fine people out there in YouTube land. This is the NRA Man Forever, coming to y'all with another Rifleman Rant. I was on Facebook a couple days ago and just messing around, taking a peek, seeing what was up there, and one of my friends that I had on there had shared a tweet from Moms Demand Action from their page, and I looked into it. It's the actual tweet from the actual page from a member of that Facebook page, and the tweet read, to be exact, rape lasts minutes, death lasts forever. You don't need a gun. Hashtag gun sense, hashtag gun violence, and hashtag some other nonsense. Now I want you to stop and think about that. Think about the frame of mind of the person that honestly came up with that phrase and that ideology. Rape lasts minutes, death lasts forever, you don't need a gun. Well, you just took, well, I can't remember that woman's name that posted it, but ma'am, if you're watching this, I hope you realize there are very few women that can stand toe-to-toe with the average male in an all-out physical confrontation. I'm not being misogynistic, I'm not being sexist, these are the scientific facts. Men are built differently than women. Women are, if you go, regardless of whether it's the religious interpretation or the scientific interpretation, men were built to hunt, to provide, to protect, to work. Women were intended biologically to mother, to nurture, to care for. Now, because of that difference, there are some things that women can do better than men. I'm not afraid to admit it. There's a lot of things women can do better than men. But there's also, by that same token, there's a lot of things that men can do better than women. And unfortunately for women who are a pretty good number of rape victims, fighting in a physical confrontation against the opposite sex is not something that most women can do effectively, unarmed. Now, yes, they have pepper spray, but that does very little against somebody that's bound and determined and has a resistance to it, because they've been sprayed dozens of times by police or correctional staff or other victims of rape, other victims that they raped. A firearm is a tool, plain and simple. Just like any other tool, it can be used for great things or it can be used for horrible things. You can use a chainsaw to cut down a tree that's blocking a road because it was knocked over by a hurricane and clear a road and let people out. You can use a snow shovel to clear out your driveway so you can park. You can use a hammer to help Habitat for Humanity build a house for someone who honestly and truly does deserve it, but don't have the resources to get a home on their own. At the same time, you can take a chainsaw and hack somebody apart with it. You can take a snow shovel and bash somebody's head in with it. You can take a hammer and kill somebody with it very easily. A firearm is no different. A firearm can be used to protect. It can be used to secure food for your dinner table. It can be used to win you a little bit of money in a shooting competition. Shooting paper. Not even any living creatures, just target shooting. But it can also, unfortunately, be used to kill, and very effectively so, with minimal effort. I can't understand the mentality of someone that would think that gun violence it demands much higher attention than rape. Am I saying gun violence is not an issue in this country? Of course it is. Of course. It's a terrible plague upon our country that needs to be addressed the right way. Actually enforcing the laws that are already on the books, making it more difficult for criminals to get guns and punishing the ones that do have them and use them. Not punishing the law-abiding citizens that are going to observe gun control laws while the criminals blatantly break them so they can commit who knows what other violent felonies. The best quote I can think of to hammer my point home with this video is, when the revolver was invented, there was a famous phrase that was coined, and that phrase is that God made all men different, but Samuel Colt made them all equal. And the same goes for women against men. If you allow people to carry good, upstanding, law-abiding citizens who want nothing more than to protect themselves and, if necessary, society as a whole, if you allow those people to carry legally a firearm, you make the job of the average criminal that much more difficult, that much more dangerous, and that much more unappealing. You give that 115-pound woman an honest chance against one or two, or hell, possibly even 3 or 4 armed or unarmed assailants who want to brutalize her in the worst of ways. And yes, while death is in fact forever, it does last forever. You're not wrong about that, ma'am. Whoever you are, wherever you are, if you're watching this, you're correct. Death is forever, and it is very unfortunate. But rape, it doesn't last minutes. The act, the physical act lasts minutes. The psychological effects, the damage done, the emotional scars, those last years and potentially lifetimes. You obviously don't know anybody that was raped. Otherwise you wouldn't dare post something so insensitive and so ignorant on the internet. And the fact that you yourself were a woman posting that is all the more disgusting. It makes me wonder what happened in your life to make you so twisted. And I hope one day you wake up from your blissful ignorance and realize the truth. That guns are not the problem. It's criminals that are the problem. Criminals that need to be punished in accordance with the law. Laws that haven't been applied or enforced as they should be since Barack Obama took office and during the entire presidency of Bill Clinton, under George Bush, the both of them, and Ronald Reagan. Criminals who committed crimes with firearms, their conviction rates, the numbers of times the laws were actually applied, were at all-time highs. Under Barack Obama, you've got the government letting fucking cartel members walk across the goddamn border into Mexico with stricter gun laws than us, with guns, what the ATF, all the while one of them is standing there with fucking binoculars and the other one is standing there with a pen and paper writing it and letting them go across the border with no tracking mechanisms, no intentions of getting the guns back, no intentions of finding out where they're going, just waiting for them to turn up at crime scenes here on our side of the fence. I'm just saying. This is the NRA Man Forever. I hope you found this video educational, informative, and entertaining. And remember, united we stand, and divided we fall. Join the NRA today.